A lovely morning to you out there from wherever it is that you're watching us from. This is Aso Morning on Aso Television. My name is Osman Khatun Umar. Of course, today is not going to be different from every other day on Aso Morning. Our menu is still the same. We have the newspaper review segment where we get to take a look at some of the stories that made the front pages for our national dailies. And thereafter, we will have our interview segment. Of course, definitely after that segment, we'll be joining Dr. James Komala. Before that segment, rather, we'll be joining Dr. James Komalafe and his team on the behavioral check segment for us to glean those very valuable tips on how to stay healthy physically, mentally, and as Dr. Longlife will always say, spiritually also. We also have the Investment Plus segment for those financial tips, especially for us to get by in these very interesting economic times. Definitely, it's a full package, but I can't go without saying Ramadan Kareem to all our Muslim brothers and sisters from whatever is it you are watching us from, because today is the first day of the month of Ramadan, which is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar. Of course, we will now go on a short break. By the time we return, it will be time for us to take a look at those stories that made the front pages of our national dailies. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
We are a nation blessed with people of diverse cultures, religions, languages, and opinions. It is ironic that we are now being ripped apart by our greatest strength, our diversity. We have allowed intolerance, insensitivity, bigotry, and nepotism to blind our vision of the greatness we can achieve working together as one. We may not have the same culture, nor religion, nor language, but we all belong to the same nation by the divine will of God. We did not choose to be Nigerians. Nigeria chose us. This nation is our divine heritage, and if we open our eyes, we would realize that what divides us pales in comparison to what unites us. And by the comparison and conciliation of our differences, we will grow until our differences disappear. Our unity cannot be wielded by mere declarations, nor do we get unity by ignoring the questions that beg for answers. We must celebrate our diversity and debate our differences without fracturing our unity. Our strength is not in our numbers, but in our unity, because even the weak become strong when united. Nigeria unite.
This message is brought to you by Abuja Broadcasting, owners and operators of Aso Radio 93.5 FM Abuja, Aso Television DSTV Channel 392, Star Times Terrestrial Channel 127, Free TV Channel 507, People's TV Channel 285, and UHF Channel 38.
Mr. President, last Saturday, the country which I have the honor to represent, the Federation of Nigeria, became independent and assumed the rights and the responsibilities of a sovereign state. Today, Nigeria has been admitted into the United Nations organization and assumes still more responsibilities. I wish to make our position plain beyond any matter of doubt as regards the African continent. We in Nigeria appreciate.
Even the weak become strong when united. Nigeria unite.
This message is brought to you by Abuja Broadcasting Corporation, owners and operators of Aso Radio 93.5 FM Abuja, Aso Television DSTV Channel 392.
Mr. President, last Saturday, treat every African territory, big or small, as our equal, because we honestly feel that it is only on that basis of equality that peace can be maintained in our continent. We in Nigeria are a populous country. There are about 40 million of us, and our territory is relatively large. Today, Nigeria has been admitted into the United Nations organization and assumes still more responsibilities. I wish to make our position plain beyond any matter of doubt as regards the African continent. We in Nigeria appreciate the advantages which the size of our country and of its population give us, but we have absolutely no aggressive intentions. We shall never impose ourselves upon any other country and shall treat every African territory, big or small, as our equal, because we honestly feel that it is only on that basis of equality that peace can be maintained in our continent. 40 million of us, and our territory is relatively large. We are willing to learn before we rush into the field of international politics, which we think true. Shall not be found to align ourselves as a matter of routine with any particular bloc. Indeed, I hate the very idea of blocs existing at all in the United Nations. It seems to me to be a contradiction in terms. When we hear the world crying out for peace, we may receive the inspiration to deal with these intractable problems and be able really to devote all our resources to the advancement of mankind by applying those eternal truths which will inevitably persist long after we ourselves are utterly forgotten. Thank you, Mr. President.